Hello YouTube, Luigi here. Today we're going to unbox a Chinese knife, a high value budget, reasonably well crafted Chinese knife, the Bee L05-1. The -1 is very critical here because the L05 is basically the same knife but different. They're often reviewed together, called brother and sister knives. You'll notice I stopped opening mail packages in front of you and just open the box. It just saves a little time. Here it is, right out of the box. The Bee L05-1. The -1 has rosewood handles. Well, does it really? To me, this is not rosewood. It's not dark enough. It's not green enough. It's not veiny enough. This is some Chinese wood, I'm sure, that they think is close to South American rosewood, and they're calling it rosewood because that's something we Americans understand. I don't think it's really rosewood. Nonetheless, it's a nice wood. I'm not putting it down. I just don't think it is what they're claiming it to be. Okay, let's look at the outside first. We've got this really long pocket clip, which is typical of a lot of Bee and Enlon knives. They use the same pocket clip everywhere. This is tipped down, right side only. That's unfortunate, but that's just the way they are. It's got a lanyard hole that has been crudely drilled through the wood. You can see a little scale around it. Let's open it up. Very, very fast, very smooth deployment. Wasn't that new knife stiffness at all. In fact, some say these might suffer from a weak detent. And I can't say it's a strong detent. Now, what is the difference between the L05-1 and the L05? The L05 has G10 scales, and as a result, it's somewhat thinner than this with the wood on both sides. The L05 has a hollow ground blade, and that's why I got the L05-1. I love flat grind blades, and that's why I got this. The truth is I'm not that fond of wood scales, but I went with it here to get the flat grind. We have open pillar construction. We have a liner lock that you can see it's about 30% engaged. Not bad. Let's look at the centering. Centering is not perfect, but it's clearly not rubbing anywhere. You gotta remember, people, this was a $7 knife. Honest to God. Centering is not perfect. Flicks out really, really, really well. I like the generous finger divot and the knurling on the disengagement of the lock bar. Very comfortable, very easy to do. We have a 3.5-inch blade, and as you might guess, it's HCR 13 MOV, says right here. The tang over here says the L05, but this one is the L05-1. Satin finish on the blade. Full 4-finger grip. It feels good, which is important to me. There's no jimping up here. My thumb is sort of looking for jimping and wished it had it, but it doesn't. It doesn't. I think it's a good-looking knife. There's nothing fancy here. I'm not trying to oversell this and say this is a highly collectible item. This is an inexpensive, beater, use it, scuff it up, enjoy it, daily utility knife. That's all it is, but it's a good-looking one. And it feels good, and I make no apologies for buying a Chinese knife here. Even the Chinese haters have to admit, if they're honest, that China has stepped up its game in terms of quality control and fit and finish. It really has. And I don't want to get political here, but even if they aren't, employing child slave labor, which I don't think is true in the fabrication of something this precise, even if they were, the fact is that child who has a job now is probably 1,000 times better off than before he had a job and he was picking garbage out of a dumpster to feed his family. So it's all relative. You can't relate everything in the world to the super high, gluttonous, materialistic standards of Americans. A child who might be working in a factory like this is probably better off than a child with zero job. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to get embroiled in this controversy about China. But those are my comments. So here it is. The Bee L05-1 in allegedly rosewood scales. I don't believe that for a minute. But it's still a nice wood nonetheless. Very good. A good beater, a good utility knife, a good EDC. Take good care, God bless, and stay safe out there. Bye-bye.